We've all heard of ESG, environmental, social, and governance. ESG is about making a difference for your business and our world. Now, most companies talk about being as conscious as possible, but what about those corporations that actually do it? Today, I'm joined by Sabine Steinbrecher, founder and Chief Hiveologist at Hiveologie Accelerated Learning. Sabine transformed her business and now leads with purpose for bees. Sabine, welcome to Empowered. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks, Liz. Thanks for having me.
So let's talk about the beginning. What has been your entrepreneurial path so far?
It's been interesting. I've been a serial entrepreneur my whole life and have been ed tech entrepreneur for over 25 years. So in essence, that means that I've been on the bleeding edge of ed technology for many, many years. But I've always had a really sort of significant focus on establishing ways in which that I could improve the lives of the people that I touched through the business, through education primarily. So that's been sort of the short version of it. There's been a lot of different versions of that over the years as technology has changed and grown.
Now, your path, you've been a serial entrepreneur. Has your path always included a social mission?
It has. In fact, the more that I developed this concept, the more that I thought about, how it's always been part of everything that I've done since the beginning. And I didn't even realize that that was true, from a variety of things like board work and volunteer work and other things. But honestly, what was really interesting was even 20 years ago, I'd completely forgotten about this, that I had been awarded by Imagine Canada a philanthropy award. And I'd completely forgotten that it had been that large already back then, to be honest. One of the areas that I've always tried to focus on is teaching one customer a year, at least, if not a couple, if we could manage it, that were not for profits, how to use education to generate passive revenue so they would have another revenue stream besides, their usual donation stream. So that's always been part of what we've done. It's always been very close to my heart. And frankly, it's now sort of come together in a new way that's much more significant for me personally.
So that Imagine Award is very important. So you shouldn't forget about it. Actually,
Yeah,
you should include it. You should include it in what you're doing. So
yeah.
let's talk about your profit for a cause philosophy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd love to. Even from the beginning, the goal was always, how can I teach people to use something to generate more revenue in their not-for-profit? And I always felt like that was a great idea, but in a way a little bit backwards. Like one of the things that I thought would be really fantastic was, how do we have everyone focus on generating profit for a cause instead? So this means that everybody that's generating income in some form or another hopefully has some mission that they're really excited about, that they then can contribute in some way to some mission that they're very passionate about. What we do, as an example, is very simple. Our passion, and where our social mission lies is with bees, with honeybees, as you mentioned. And our goal is 3% off the top of every dollar that comes in the door, we donate to a bee sanctuary, and the first bee sanctuary. There's other things to come, but that's the way that we've applied it. Of course, people can do that in lots of different ways, but that's our current mission anyway.
So, okay, you talked about bees. How did bees become your passion?
It started at a personal level. It was something that was concerning me for a really long time. And then a couple of years ago, I was fortunate enough to move to a property that had a lot of space, and we started doing our own hives and getting very excited about it. And at the same time, doing a lot more research and understanding just how much trouble a lot of our pollinators are in, and how critical it is to our food source and everything that happens on the planet. So it became right around the same time that we were launching Hiveologie, which was a bit of a fluke, actually, that the two of them came together at the same time. But the Hiveologie concept is this education platform that functions more like a hive, more like a community, more like an ecosystem. And all of those came together at the same time. So this passion for bees that was becoming just stronger and stronger every day became also the social mission for the company. So, and I'm realizing that sort of organic fit is what's really critical for people to try to do themselves. It's so much easier if everything's in alignment.
So I love the fact that you're talking about an organic
Mhm.
fit and the profit for cause philosophy, because a lot of people are constantly looking at how much money am I making? What's my revenue? What's this and what's that? And they're not really thinking about giving back to the community, which I believe is super important. So
Mhm.
when we come back, we will discuss more about you and the bees and the environment.